Hello, welcome back to Pilates. So I think our fourth video in the series. Today we're going to work on a little bit more advanced stuff again, but everything will have a modification. So we'll start with the modification and then lead into the more advanced exercise so that everybody can have an opportunity to do the exercise, but if you want to try the advanced, it'll be there. Okay, our core principle for today is balanced muscle movement. So with practice, correct alignment and form become second nature. They lead to better posture, increased comfort, and enhanced physical abilities. So that means you become a superhero with Pilates, which is awesome. Today, some of the exercises are going to feel like superhero moves. We have the spine twist, the jackknife, side kick, and teaser. They can be very difficult, but again, they can be modified to be made a little bit more gentle. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up, seated, nice and tall. You can either be in a cross-leg position, you can have your legs straight out, or you can have your knees bent with your feet flat. However it's comfortable for you to sit right up on your sit bones, nice and tall with your shoulders relaxed, rooted down into the ground. You can put your hands on your belly and just feel the movement of your breath into your body. Just noticing your breath. Don't change it. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good. Okay, now we're going to take your feet straight out with your legs together. We're going to take your hands up, deep breath in. Breathe out and dive forward, rounding your back, rolling down. Good, come back up. And dive down again. That big circle with the arms, come back up. 1 more. Good. Okay, arms out to the side. We're going to turn your right hand, let's say your left hand up, palm facing up, and on an exhale, you're going to lower your right hand down to the floor and reach that left hand up and over, rooting your left sit bone down into the floor. Don't let it lift up. Inhale up through center, exhale down to the other side. Good, timing your movements with your breath. Inhale through the center, exhale down to the side. Nice big stretch through the side. Two more. And last one. Oh, we gotta do 1 more to make it even. And we're going to go down to the floor and we're going to work some pelvic clocks. So you're going to lay on your back with your knees bent, feet flat, and your hands down at your sides. I'm going to move my hands out to the side though so you can see the movement of my hips. So we're just going to tip your tailbone down towards the floor, and that'll be your 6. And then tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling, pushing your hips, pushing your back down into the floor, that's going to be your 12. If you push your right hip down onto the mat, that's going to be your 9, and the left side of your hip down into the mat is going to be your 3. Okay, so we're going to start at 12 and roll down through all the numbers, down to 6, and then roll back up all through the numbers again, up to 12. So you're doing a complete circle. Imagine that you have a saucer of water laying on your belly, and you don't want it to spill. So it's a tiny, tiny little movement, and you're just taking the water to the edge of the saucer all the way around, taking it to the edge. Okay? And just notice if any of the numbers feel sticky. So you want to have it at the 12, try and take it all the way through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You don't have to change anything, just notice the movement. See if anything feels a little bit sticky. Okay, let's reverse the movement. So you're going to go counterclockwise now. Again, trying to hit all the numbers and just noticing if any of them feel sticky. Or if they seem to flow nicely, smoothly. Okay, now we're going to bring your feet up into a tabletop position. So one leg up first, make sure your back is pressed down into the mat or in a neutral position, or again, you can have that towel under your back for supported neutral. Over here. One leg up, other leg up, pressing your back down and keeping your tummy flat. Okay, so you just don't want to allow your back to come up into a big arch. You're keeping that nice and flat. And we're going to take one leg down, bring it back up, take the other leg down, and bring it back up. Keeping your tummy tight, belly button pulled down towards the floor, and lifting your pelvic floor at the same time. Lowering your leg on an exhale, bringing it up on an inhale. Notice that I'm not changing the angle of my knee, just the angle of the hip, so I'm not tapping down like this. That knee angle is staying the same, extending the angle of the hip, and then bringing it back up to 90. 2 more, and 1. Good. Now you can lower both feet down to the floor with control, or you can take one foot at a time. Bringing your heels in a little bit closer to you. You're going to roll up into a bridge. And at the top of the bridge, you're going to get your glutes to kick in a little bit and squeeze up. And then roll back down. One vertebrae at a time. Come up into an arch. And then flatten your back out. Roll up. Start with the tailbone. One vertebrae at a time, using your abdominal muscles to float you up. Try not to use your glutes. Right up at the top of the move here, you're going to let your glutes kick in and push you up a little higher. Okay, now roll back down. 2 more. So up into that arch. Roll up. Exhale as you roll up. And then inhale, coming back down. 1 more. Good. Okay, now, if you have a band, you're going to try and take that band and put it around your feet. Option to use a yoga strap if you have, or take that towel or another towel and put that around your feet. You need one a little bit longer than this though, so that you can actually reach. And take your legs down. And back up, down, and back up. Trying not to lift your hips up, or even to here. So you're keeping your tailbone flat. You're not lifting your tailbone up. 2 more. And 1, and you're going to let this lift you up. So you're using the momentum to lift you up. Okay, I'm just putting that off to the side. I'm going to sit this way so you can see what I'm doing. So again, we're going to sit right up on your sit bones like we did in the beginning. Nice and tall. if you're struggling to sit up tall, you can use a pillow just to lift up your hips a little bit. So you're putting that pillow not sitting right on top of it. You're sitting just down here a little bit so that it helps you to sit in that nice tall position so that you're not sitting like this. Okay? Nice and tall. Even I have a tiny little bit of a bend right here, a little bit. So you can also sit up with your knees slightly bent if you don't have the option to sit up on a towel or a pillow. I'm gonna keep my knees slightly bent today because my hamstrings are so tight from running that I do have a little tiny bit of a curve there. Okay? We're gonna take your hands out to the side. And you're gonna twist to one side, and then with a sniffing breath, we're gonna pulse twice. Back to center. Inhale, and then twist to the other side. Sniffing breath, and back. Let's do it this way, switch it around. So you're gonna twist to the side and sniff for 2 inhales. Exhale, come back to center. Twist, exhale. One more. Good. Okay, lowering your hands, lowering your legs down, and jackknife. So, again with the band or yoga strap or whatever you happen to have available to you. Even if it's the tube type of a band, that's okay too. The ones that have handles on them. Even if you just have like a bit of rope or something that you can hang on to. And you're gonna roll down. Once you're on the floor, you're gonna use the band to help you lift your legs up. I'm gonna turn a little bit. Lift your legs up. And now if it's available to you, coming all the way up into a rollover and back down. Okay. Now, if you're doing it this way with the rollover, getting your legs as close to the floor as you can with your knees straight. So don't bend your knees just to touch your feet to the floor. Keep them straight and just go as far as you can. And then let's try and roll down as slowly as you can and see if you can take your legs up just a little bit more without lifting your head up and coming right up off the mat. And then just take your legs down as low as you can comfortably go without your back arching up. Okay, so there's option 1. Or if that's not available to you, if that doesn't feel safe for you and you need something a little bit more modified, then just do the roll down. And then roll over to the side, roll down again, or just do the leg lifts. You can even do just one at a time. And then switch. Okay. Now the full jackknife. You're laying down, hands flat beside you. Pressing your hands and your arms down into the mat. You're gonna lift your legs up, lift your hips up, and roll all the way back, touching your feet to the floor. Feet are then gonna go straight up to the ceiling, pointing your toes. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Try not to pop your wrists up. Keep your hands flat. If your wrists want to pop up, try putting your fists down instead. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time, trying to keep your legs as straight up towards the ceiling as you can. Down and back up again. Good. Straight up to the ceiling and rolling down. With control, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, and you're gonna roll over onto your side. And you can lay right flat on your arm, or you can rest your head on a pillow if that feels more comfortable. You can be up on one arm here, or you can have the other arm up like this. Okay, I'm going to start down here for the demo. You're going to make sure that you have your hips and your shoulders stacked. So you're not leaning forward or back. Feet are stacked. So nice and flat. I'm going to lift up this leg. My feet are flexed. So you can't see that. Let's go here. Feet are flexed. And I'm stacked as if I'm laying against a wall. So again, my hips are not leaning back. They're not leaning forward. I'm going to lift this leg up. Inhale, and then 2 sniffing breaths in. Exhale, point your toe and glide that leg back. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So again, you can be up here. Taking the leg back is hard without leaning. Good. Okay, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. You can do something fancy like that, or you can just switch. And again, you're going to lay right on your side or on a pillow, propped up on one arm, or with both hands. Okay, I'm going to start down here. Lift this leg up. Both of my feet are flexed. Inhale. Exhale, take that leg back. Inhale. Exhale. 2 sniffing breaths in. Exhale out. So your foot is flexed on the way up. Point your toe. Sweep your leg back. And again, trying not to, as I take the leg forward, I'm not leaning my hips back or my shoulders. I'm keeping everything stacked. And as I take that leg back, I'm not leaning forward to counter so that I don't tip over. Using my core to control and make sure that I keep everything stacked and strong. And again, you can be up here. One more. Good. All right. So our last one is the teaser. So we're going to start with teaser prep. So it's going to be the most modified. Laying with your hands back behind you. We're going to take one leg up, point your toe, and then on an exhale, pulling your ribs towards your hips, rolling up. So you're seated up with your hands straight out and your legs still together. So this leg isn't going to lower as you come up. It's going to stay up here. So you can have this knee in here or out here a little bit to make it harder or easier for you. Put them back down, switch legs. So you're rolling up and rolling down. Next one is up here in that tabletop position. So again, make sure that your back is flat. You don't want it to be arched way up. I don't know if you can see. So you don't want your back arched up like that. You want it to be flat to the floor. Bring one leg up to tabletop, other leg up to tabletop. Deep breath in, and then on an exhale, rolling up until you're seated up here with your hands out. Rolling back down. Good. And the last option for today is to have your knees bent here, and as we roll up, you're going to extend your knees up. Okay? So, rolling up, exhale, pulling your ribs towards your hips, extending your legs up, and then rolling back down. You can bend your knees or keep your legs straight. So rolling up again. And rolling down, this time keeping the legs straight. Or you can roll yourself up and then just lower the legs. Okay? So you have a few different options in teaser. So that was the spine twist, the jackknife, the side kick, and the teaser. I still would like you to be doing all of the movements, starting right from one, going all the way down. I have my list. I need my list because I know I'll miss one if I don't. So that's the 100, the roll up, the roll over or roll back, one leg circle, rolling like a ball, single leg stretch, double leg stretch, spine stretch, rocker, corkscrew, saw, swan dive, or baby swan, single leg kick, double leg kick, neck pull, scissors, bicycles, shoulder bridge, spine twist, jackknife, side kick, teaser. Okay, all the way from top to bottom. So I don't want you just to be working on these 4. You can practice them a little bit, but I would like you to work on this progressively so that every day you're building on, or every video you're building on what you did in the last one, okay? It's gonna help you be stronger, and it's gonna help these movements be easier as they get harder and harder and harder. So we still have 12 more movements to go. So we might do 6 and 6 in the next 2 videos, or I might break it down into 3 videos and do a little bit less. Probably the easier way to go. Okay, so any questions, additional modifications, anything like that, just drop it in the comments and I'll be happy to help you. One thing I would say is just be careful, and if anything doesn't feel right, don't do it, or do a modification instead. Okay, there are several, so if there's something that I haven't mentioned and something just doesn't feel right, please ask for a modification. Okay, good luck, and I will see you work on this through the weekend, and I will see you Monday.